The following is a presentation of SC State Athletics.
The South Carolina State Bulldogs take on the Delaware State Hornets this week at the Oliver C. Dawson Bulldog Stadium in Orangeburg. With last week's loss to Morgan State, the Bulldogs can ill afford another loss in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. It will ruin any chances of a MEAC title. The Bulldogs, of course, will be without the services of quarterback Corey Fields and defensive end Jablonski Green Jr. injured in that Morgan State game. Delaware State, on the other hand, coached by Rod Milstead, coming off a disappointing loss to North Carolina Central, in which they lost the lead late in that football game. Can the Bulldogs revive their MEAC championship hopes and win without two of their best players? We're about to find out. Coming up next on the Buddy Pough Show. Quarterback pass. Corey throws a sling. It's caught. Touchdown! South Carolina State. Outside kick. With the pitch in the end zone. It's Corey. Pressure coming. Got to let it go. Throws it out there. Caught. Touchdown! Brings it back. South Carolina State. Breaks through the 15, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Ventrell Flowers. He keeps it himself. Jablonski Green got wrapped up and gets him on the turf. We're on the sidelines talking with South Carolina State head football coach Buddy Pough. Coach Pough, there's no room for error today.
None at all. We've got our work cut out for us, but we know exactly what our mission is. We got to get out here and get these guys stopped. We got to win a football game today. If not, then it's over.
You know, we talked about the injuries from last week. They got even a little greater. You got some challenges this afternoon on both sides of the football.
We do. I don't think Corey can help us today. He's still got a little bit of a finger broken, bruised, and then we've also lost Jablonski Green, and Jablonski is going to be out, looks like, for the rest of the season. So we'll figure it out here. We got next man up. You know how it goes in football. We'll go with Tyrese Nick at quarterback, and we'll design, a little bit better plan around him than what we had last week. And then we'll, go with Jared Kirksey at defensive end where Jablonski was. And he's really coming on, so I think we are in good shape for, those guys to step up and get going.
Tyrese does bring a different dimension, Coach. The last time we saw him extensively, he had 95 yards running the ball against USC. He brings a different dimension for a defense to have to concern themselves with.
He does. Tyrese is a athletic style kind of quarterback that can take advantage of some of the kinds of things that we saw the young man from Central do a couple of weeks back and do last week against the same team. So we'll draw some from some of that kind of stuff, but more than anything else, we've got to be able to run the football, Summer, and however we do that, I think is what's going to be the difference between whether we can be successful or not.
You talk about running the football, Coach. You've also preached that we have to stop the run, and Gillis has turned out to be a pretty decent running back for Delaware State.
I think they'll just simply load it up and try to run it down our throats. They saw last week Morgan have some success running the football, and it was pretty simple, inside and outside zone, a little bit of a stretch game that way, and I can tell you that they'll try to draw from that plan and see if they can do the same thing to us.
Coach, when you look at the challenges of your defense, have you ever seen a defense more challenged than this South Carolina State team going to be challenged here today when everybody knows what your Achilles heel is?
No, I don't think so. I think they know, exactly, what the mission is, and at that point, we need to just go ahead and see if we can make it happen. I think it'll be, the first part of the game before you'll know.
And Coach, you start talking about what's going to take to win the football game. What's it going to take for you to win the football game?
Well, I always say run and stop the run. It's more true today than ever. We've got to stop the run on defense, and we desperately need to be able to run the football a good bit on offense.
All right, Coach, best of luck this afternoon.
Thanks a bunch.
Gavin Zimmerman approaches. It's a high end-over-end kick. This is going to be Jerish at the 15, at the 20. Cuts back at the 25, across the 30-yard line to the 32-yard line. So it was Jerish Halsey on the return. Pick up to the 31. It is third down. Let's call it 10 for Delaware State. Gillis, quarterback draw. Gillis has got good yards, picks up the first down and more all the way up to the 45-yard line. Henry hands off to Gillis, trying to get outside. Gets square upfield and pushed out of bounds in South Carolina State territory. Back to pass as Henry throws a slant. It's caught. First down. Missed tackle by South Carolina State. On the move and still on his feet at the 25-yard line is Rakeem Smith. 3 missed tackles by South Carolina State after the pass was completed. 4-down lineman for the Bulldogs. Here's a snap. Gillis. Back to pass. Or Henry, I'm sorry. Throws it out to Gillis. Gillis. Close to that first down marker. Gets the first down. Just went through the tackle of Jalen Barr. 2 receivers right, 1 left. They give it to Gillis. On the delay, Gillis breaks 3 tackles, pushes forward, still pushing forward, stretches to the end zone. So with 8:31 to go here in the first quarter, Delaware State on their first possession, Bill, take it 68 yards for the score. Nick with the option. Keeps it himself, cuts up the middle to the 30. Nick gets the first down. Tyrese at quarterback. Oh, and it's snapped over the head of Tyrese Nick. Nick has to fall on it. Back at the 18-yard line, shotgun formation for CJ. Back to pass. Henry looking to his right, in trouble. Wrapped up, pulled down. Patrick Godbow with the sack. 26-yard attempt. Toe is in it. It is up. Man, he can kick it.
He got it.
That's his first field goal of the season, a 26-yard attempt. With 8:02 to go here in the first half, and we're down 2 scores. Brown with the snap. Play action, fake Tyrese looking long. Tyrese throwing it out there. It is caught, I thought, off the ground.
They call it a catch. It looked like he got his hands on it.
Jakari Williams is a tight end. They snap it back. End around to Justin Smith-Brown. Got to get outside at the 50, at the 45, at the 40, at the 35-30, 25-20, 15-10, 5. Put that man's name on his jersey. Justin Smith-Brown goes 48 yards on the end around. So it's 5:36 to go. We got us a ball game. Shotgun snap, Henry back to pass, looking left, throwing it out in the flat. It's caught over there. Big catch for Delaware State. That is number 87 on the reception. That's Devin Curry. Starts. Back to pass, Henry. Throws it out in the flat. It's caught over there. Halsey makes a man miss at the 45, runs through Dwayne Nichols all the way down to the 18-yard line, but another missed tackle by South Carolina State. Shotgun formation for C.J. Henry. Bulldogs need a sack. Handoff. This is Gillis trying to get outside. Makes a man miss, gets outside, cuts inside, touchdown, Gillis. And that is where we are right now. It's halftime here in Orangeburg. Our score, Delaware State 17, South Carolina State 7. All right, Coach, first half of this football game, Delaware State won the toss. And one thing we rarely see teams do is Delaware State got the football and took it down and scored on the first possession.
Right. They got a first down on a long situation, on a draw play. And for the rest of the half, for the rest of that drive, it was kind of manageable kind of third downs for them, but they kept converting and converting. Heck, I think they might have been maybe 4-5 or 4-5 for third down on that first drive.
That first drive for 13 play, about 69 yards. They went down and scored. Bulldogs struggled offensively. You knew you were going to have some problems offensively. Just really couldn't get anything going in the first quarter.
Well, we had to play Tyrese in this game today, and he came in and did his usual stuff, but at the same time, we were not able to actually create enough running game off of his style of play. And we had a couple bad reads and a couple other little odds and ends things that went wrong. We had a bad snap. We had a little bit of all the different kinds of things that you definitely don't want to have when you got a new quarterback in the game. And he ends up getting us in, maybe the first half or so, first quarter or so, with nothing really happening very much. Then we got into the second quarter and got a few drives going, got one drive going actually. We had a pass play, one deep ball kind of sort of, and a reverse, and that was our drive. So that was our total offense for the first half.
I tell you what, Jaden Smith-Brown really on that reverse, Coach. He didn't have his name. I made kind of fun of him. He's the guy that didn't have his name on the back of his jersey. He may have earned the name on the back of the jersey with that 48-yard touchdown run.
I guarantee you. And I told them when they were giving it to him, I said, I don't know. But after I saw him running, he is the right guy for that. So hopefully we can figure out how to get him the football again, for some other kind of stuff.
It's unfortunate for South Carolina on Saturday, but then, Coach, in a ball game like that, you do find out and you find a player like that who looks like he could possibly be a playmaker for the future.
Well, he's been on the team for a while, and he's been a little bit banged up. He's had a hamstring issue for most of the season, so he's just getting back healthy again. And we've got several guys, that got banged up today. Doe got banged up. We got 2 or 3 guys on defense. We had guys out, so we had quarterbacks out. It was one of those kind of deal where we get to be pretty patchwork, and I think you'll find some guys like that now because we're getting pretty deep down into our depth chart.
First half of South Carolina State and Delaware State, it was 10-7 Delaware State. Going toward halftime, a minute and a half to go, we kick it back to Delaware State, and we cannot get them on the ground.
Yeah, and it was one drive where, I thought our maturity kind of came into play a little bit. We had a lot of young kids out there, and we find a play where we don't get the call. We miss a tackle over there. They get it down close. They run another run play, and the guy doesn't have anywhere to go, and we can't really find a way to get to him. Once we finally did get to him, he kind of broke off and found a little gap, and the next thing you know, he's in the end zone, and we're down 17-7 in a situation where you really felt like you were in good shape going in at 10-7. That was a tough part of the whole deal.
So the Bulldogs ended the first half trailing Delaware State 17-7, but remember, Delaware State started with the football, so the Bulldogs will begin the second half with possession. We'll take a time out here on the Buddy Pough Show. We'll have more from the Delaware State game right after these messages.
Your home is where your memories live, where you laugh, and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise.
Hey, South Carolina, you can make a choice for your Medicaid health plan. Choose Healthy Blue. With Healthy Blue, your whole family is covered for free or low-cost checkups and prescriptions, plus eye exams and glasses for kids and adults. Get all this and more from a plan backed by the Cross and Shield. The choice is easy. Get Healthy Blue now at choosehealthybluecom/SC and get more from Medicaid.
Prisma Health keeps South Carolina hearts beating strong. As the largest cardiovascular provider in the state and home to the only freestanding heart hospital dedicated to the prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of heart disease, we provide the heart care you need. With more innovative treatments like LVAD, more specialists, and more locations closer to you, we're doing even more to help you be your healthiest you. Prisma Health, the heart and vascular experts.
All right, it's time for the Prisma Health Injury Report for the Delaware State game, Coach. And you talk about the injuries really starting to mount up, and they were significant in this football game.
Yeah, we're having a pretty good, sizable injury list at this point in our season. And you start off with the guys who'd already been out, but we lost Jablonski in that game Saturday. Corey Fields, our quarterback, has a little bit of a broken finger. It's not quite healed enough for him to be able to go out and do very much. During the game today, we lost. DeMarcus Doe is one of our safeties. He got banged up a little bit. Aaron Smith, one of our linebackers, got banged up some. So, it's a little bit of everybody now. And what's happening is we're beginning to go into our depth chart and give some of these young kids a chance to play. And I think you'll eventually be pleased with what you see with some of those guys.
You mentioned Aaron Smith was out. Jaden Jones came in. He was number 29, folks,
right,
and did a really good job. And probably the most playing time he got all season.
I liked watching Jaden Jones go out there. And the Watkins kid from North Carolina, a freshman kid, is going to be a good player for us too. And he got a chance to play a good bit when Doe was out. So we're having to plug guys in these spots. And I think what we'll have is an opportunity for those guys to play even more in the next coming game, especially now that we're no longer in it.
All right, so that is the Prisma Health Injury Report for the Delaware State game. We'll take a time out here on the Buddy Pough Show. We'll come back with more about the second half between South Carolina State and Delaware State right after this timeout.
At Founders Federal Credit Union, we know success is a team effort. We're always cheering for you, side by side, so you can dream big and achieve your goals. Offering products and services that put you in the lead, whether that's helping you buy a car, build your savings, or supporting your community. We're here with the financial support you need. That's teamwork. Score big with Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax with Founders.
Think big. Something life-changing. I'm talking education. Let's get inventive. Blow things up in a good way. Do it for 20 years? Wake up and education has received billions in funding. Who does all this? If you've ever played one of these or these, that would be you. Yeah, thank you.
All right, Wilson approaches with the left foot. Line drive end over in boot that Rakeem White's going to let hit down and go out of bounds, and that's good news for the Bulldogs as we'll get it 1st and 10 on the 35 as he kicked it out of bounds. Marquise Gillis in the backfield with him. Henry back to pass, forced out of the pocket. He is hit. Football in the air. Intercepted by Patrick Godbout. Shotgun snap, Tyrese. 3-step drop, looking long. Tyrese throws it up there. Shaq Davis is out there, catches it. Touchdown, South Carolina State. Tyrese Nick to Shaq Davis, 26 yards, and Shaq did not turn around, Bill, until that ball almost came down. So, with 10:20 to go here in the third quarter, it is Delaware State 17, South Carolina State 14. 3rd down and 7 for Delaware State, 2 Hornets each way. C.J. Henry throws it out, and the flat has a man out there caught. 1st down, still on his feet. Bulldogs missing tackles, just dragging Bulldogs down the field. Wade Ings in the Wildcat for Delaware State. They snap it back to him. High snap. He flips it up and throws it. It is touchdown, Delaware State. It is Delaware State 24, South Carolina State 14. 2 Bulldogs are to the left, 1 to the right. Football's on the near hash. Play action fake. Tyrese flips it up. He's got Shaq out there. Shaq makes the catch at the 45. Tackle down at the 40 of Delaware State, but a 1st down for the Bulldogs. Brown snaps. Play action fake. Tyrese looking long, throwing it out there. Caught. Jordan Smith. 1st down Bulldogs at the 23-yard line. Snap's good. They get it down. Gavin's toe is in it. It is up, and it is good. So Gavin Zimmerman from 42 yards out. Shotgun snap, Tyrese. Tyrese looking, throwing it out there. It is caught. Touchdown, South Carolina State. Bulldogs score. And folks, with 48 seconds to go, it's 24 for South Carolina State, 24 for Delaware State. Who would have believed it? Whoever wins the coin toss will have the decision if they want the ball or what direction they want to go in.
Yep.
And each team will have an opportunity in overtime. 3 receivers to the left, Bill. One of them's uncovered by Delaware State.
And now they make the adjustment.
Tyrese Nick is going right at him. Oh, it's picked off. It's picked off. Peeler picks it off. They snap it back to Henry. They give it to Gillis over the right side. Gillis breaks free. Gillis at the 15, at the 10, at the 5, goes to the pylon. He's out at the 1-yard line. It's up. It's good.
Game over.
Delaware State.
Pulls
I thought
it
the
up.
Bulldogs had gotten pressure. Looks like we were going to block it, and South Carolina State's season pretty much comes to an end from the standpoint of trying to win a MEAC championship. It's Delaware State 27, South Carolina State 24. Second half, South Carolina State and Delaware State, Coach, we begin with possession, but we start slow. We don't get much going early on, but eventually we get some offense going.
You're right. We did get an opportunity to get a drive, to get a 1st down or 2, at least at the beginning of the second half, but then we kicked the ball back to them. Our defense came in and played real stout. It's surprising how good they can play, after having just given up a quick bim, bam, boom drive at the end of the first half, but they came back and played really well. And then we get a turnover there and get it down close to our goal line, kind of, I guess, maybe in about the 20-some-odd yards range. Then we get a lost yardage play. Tyrese takes a sack, and then we get a little corner ball, and Shaq scores a touchdown. So we think that we probably, almost out of the game. The next thing you know, it's 17-14. So we right back in the middle of this thing, and at that point, you're feeling pretty good about yourself.
But then, just like as fate would have it, and kind of like the South Carolina State season, Delaware State comes back, goes down the field, Coach, and goes up 24-14. And one thing you've often talked about the resiliency of this team. They didn't bow their heads. They fought back, got back into this football game, down 10, going into the fourth quarter.
You're exactly right. We ended up going down by 10, and I can't quite remember if it was directly after that or whether we got to stop the time or 2. But the next thing you know is they get this long drive,
10 minutes,
and it goes all the way down from maybe like 9 minutes to go in the third quarter to maybe like into the fourth quarter. And from that point, then you start to really worry a little bit because they're up by 10 and times are wasting, But at the same time, we do get another drive down and we get a field goal, a 42-yard field goal from Gavin Zimmerman, the longest field goal he's made, and he really stepped in there and hit that thing really good. I was proud of him. And from that point, then we kind of messed around a little bit, and they drive the football again on us. We think that we got it going and don't quite get it down there. They get the ball back from we miss a 4th down play. They take the ball and drive it for another, I guess maybe 2, 3, 4 minutes, somewhere in that neck of the woods. Get them down to the I guess maybe about the midfield mark. They punt us deep down our territory, and then we get the football back with a minute and maybe 40-some seconds, about 2 minutes left to go in the game. And our guys stuck that thing in there on them and had a great 2-minute drive and got it back to 24 all. And at that point, you said, man, we had that. Go the whole game, pretty much don't get ahead until, 38 seconds left to go in the game, some of that neck of the woods.
87-yard drive, Coach.
Yeah, well, I can tell you that it was a wonderful opportunity for us to show our ability to do a 2-minute drill. And so we get down the field and score and, go into overtime. And at that point, then all hell breaks loose.
You throw a pick on the first play of overtime, and then to make matters worse, on their first play of overtime, they run all the way down to the 1-yard line, and you think it's over, but the defense steps up and forces them to 4th down.
How does a defense that won't let you get 1 yard let you get 24? That kind of deal. But that's kind of what happened, in that particular situation. And then, we end up stopping them on 3rd down, so they come in on 4th down, and their good kicker gets in there and bangs it through for a 27-24 win.
That was the way it ended on Saturday. Delaware State, a 3-point overtime win over South Carolina State. When we come back, we'll tell you what's up next for your South Carolina State Bulldogs on this edition of the Buddy Pough Show.
This is where the formula ends and the magic begins. We take the mold, shake the mold, and break the mold. From late nights in the gym to later nights in the library, we grind. Because if you think greatness is a game, think again. Here, nothing shines unless we all do.
Your home is where your memories live, where you laugh and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise.
Why do we travel? Why do we fly? Are we called by the excitement of untold adventures in faraway places? Driven to shape the future of our world, or to share our world with future generations? We designed Columbia Metropolitan Airport for you, and her, and them. So when the day arrives for your next journey, we'll be ready to get you there. Columbia Metropolitan Airport. Fly with ease.
Hi. Hi. Oh, we all just got new smartphones at Cricket. Hi. Hi. Hola. Hi. Hi. Okay, bye. Bye.
Get great seats, safer, simpler, and smarter with TicketSmarter. Choose great seats from over 125,000 live events, all backed with a TicketSmarter 100% ticket guarantee. Get your tickets smarter at TicketSmarter.com.
All right, South Carolina State now with 2 losses. Pretty safe bet not to win the MEAC championship this year. Coach, you got Howard coming up. Howard lost a tough one to North Carolina Central. Despite the fact that you maybe not be playing for a MEAC championship, you still got to finish the season out and want to finish on a positive note.
We do, and we'll go up and play Howard. Howard's got a good football team that was kind of right in the middle of it until North Carolina Central beat up on them pretty good today. And we'll get in there and we're good. Coach Scott, the head guy at Howard, is a ex-Florida assistant, and he's got a bunch of old South Carolina State guys on that staff. So it'll be, an enjoyable experience going up and playing them. Howard's always one of the neat places, kind of a high school kind of stadium, but they get a lot of people in there. And it's always a lot of South State folk there because it's an opportunity for them to come out and see their Bulldogs. So hopefully we'll have a good crowd in D.C. this coming Saturday looking to see us play against the Bison.
Got to ask you a personal question.
Yeah.
Now, I heard that Howard's got a new press box and they've done some refurbishing up there.
Well, that'd be great if they have. I hadn't seen it. I've been kind of watching, down on the field to see what their team looks like, but I'm sure they've got some things going on. They can afford it. Those guys got about 15,000 students up there and got all the different kinds of bells and whistles, that they can do as far as their overall operation is concerned. So they can put a little bit, I'm sure, into that football program.
Coach, let me ask you, how difficult is it to get prepared when you know there's not a whole lot on the line? This team has been through so much from the standpoint of playing big ball games. You really got to dig deep to get an effort this coming week.
I'm sure we do, and hadn't had to do this a lot during this. Most of the years that we've been here, we've been in it to the very end, and this is a strange kind of occurrence where we pretty much out of it. I can tell you this, though, and that is that our guys will fight to the very end. Even today, in a situation where we had an opportunity to, to lay down and try to let it happen, we did, and our guys will fight to the end. So I think our guys will continue to be, and our coaching staff and everybody will be into it in a way where our pride will still be, attached to this thing. And anything you put on film out there where people can see what you've done, you want to make sure that it looks good. So we'll do a good job of finishing out the season.
We're looking forward to it. Folks are looking forward to seeing you in Washington, D.C. this week when South Carolina State takes on the Howard Bison. And, of course, next week right here on Valley Sports Southeast on the Buddy Pough Show.